Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. So recently, I think as you'll probably see, like I've been really fascinated on sort of trying to understand the mechanics of everyone is pushed out, the universe, why we're here. I mean, those of us on a spiritual journey, I mean, we're all on a spiritual journey, but those of us that are very actively on a spiritual journey, um, we sort of know some things to be true when we've had experiences that can sort of help to give us insights, and then we kind of have to try and put those insights into an overall truth. I mean, maybe some people have been shown the overall truth, but I feel like it always has to slot together in some way. So I had some new kind of like where my thought process is right now is on the topic of free will versus destiny. So I personally believe that I spent the earlier years of my life, and I'm talking till only about 2 years ago, with not really any free will. I didn't feel like I had any free will. I didn't feel like I could select my own partner. I felt like I was pulled to people that helped me resolve my wounds and my limiting beliefs. I had enormous soul connections. Yes, I went on what I would call a twin flame journey, or the way other people describe a twin flame journey, for years. I only ever had connections with people I felt humongous pulls to, and I just couldn't block them off, whatever. All of them were huge growth for me and really helped me to evolve. Then around 2 years ago, I would say, or maybe even less, actually, maybe a year ago, I lose track of time sometimes. It's not really been that long. It's probably a year, actually, maybe even less than a year. You do excuse my terrible, time doesn't exist, right? In my world, anyways. I really feel like I stepped out of that and into understanding myself as God, understanding myself as the creator of my reality, as the creator of my life. And I stopped having those experiences. I stopped feeling like there was things that I had to do, people that I had to have feelings for, that I just could not escape. It would literally be like a physical pulling sensation. It was unbearable. And I used to have like even draws to certain careers that I just felt, however difficult it was or blocks were in the way, like I just couldn't step away from them. And then, yeah, I had a shift where I understood myself as the creator of my reality, and all of that has kind of gone. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm free to make sovereign choices and to make choices, I guess. And I think I had this feeling quite a few years ago when people would explain to me the wheel of karma. It always really stood out to me that sort of karma was when we're sort of like that we're on this wheel, and then we step off and we no longer have to kind of go through all that stuff, like that karmic stuff. You know, karmic, whatever, it's just a label. But I really am starting to feel that when we say who am I, and we have that separation. See, I've never bought into that. A lot of people separate what they call an ego self, like me, with higher self, with God, with like overall source. But I've always felt like no separation there. So I haven't really had those same feelings that other people have said. Like, it's always jarred me a bit when people have sort of tried to suggest that they are just like the kind of lower person, and then there's like a God that speaks through them. It's always kind of jarred me a bit. It's never really felt right. And I am starting to have a strong belief that we, as part of the one soul, have like our own spark of consciousness, our own spark of God self as a soul. And our soul chooses to have experiences in order to evolve. So not one source, even though we are all part of the one source because we're made in God's image, but our soul sets little challenges for us to evolve. And say, for example, I choose to be born into a life with specific lessons, like I'm gonna, you know, like always chase after people that don't want me. That's just like a easy one to say, or that I want to get over rejection in this lifetime. Then I'm going to be pulled and have desires that are based around my deepest soul desire, which is to evolve. So I will be pulled to people, and it will feel like I have no free will and I have no choice. That will help me to evolve in that way and see myself in that mirror, to be able to evolve. And I believe that once we are God realized or self-actualized, and we realize that we and that person are the same and there is no separation, and that we are the creator of our reality and our experience, that we will then be a God, and we will be aligned, and we will have full autonomous freedom and control over our reality and our creations, because we have united the kind of higher self, if you want to call it that, or the oversoul of self, with the one that's here now living on the 3D earth. Once we realize they're the same, then we're like a united, we're like God realized, but God realized to our own God, to our own higher self. So we no longer need to go through what some people might call karma, or belief systems, or just basically experiences that we preset ourselves. And I think this is why we are the creator, even when we're experiencing things that we don't want to consciously experience, because our soul wants us to experience them. And on the deepest level, we want to experience them because we want to evolve. And once we kind of realize this, and we combine those two elements with like our our higher soul, oversoul, God soul, then we become God realized. And then we are just creating, and we are experiencing, and we have the free will to choose, because we have stepped off the wheel of karma, as they might refer to it, or in certain historical books. So yeah, that's kind of something that came to me today. Obviously, like I always say, these are my ideas, this is my journey. I think there's nothing worse than just taking on someone else's journey. We all come to our own realizations and our own path, and we just share them with one another, because it can sort of trigger memories, if other people exist, that is. But otherwise, I'm just sharing it with other aspects of myself, and that's okay too. So I hope everyone has a lovely day, and speak soon. Bye.